everyone. Welcome to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for 1st March 2023. Starting with the editorial section of today's session, listen to the quote from The Indian Express. International quotes and climate change from The Hindu, followed by the news update and the legal news. Starting with the editorial session, before that, just a reminder that LawSikho hosts daily quiz based on thorough newspaper analysis of the previous day. And the links will be shared in WhatsApp and respective Telegram groups at 8 a.m. every day, and it is open till 11 a.m. Do attempt this TNA daily TNA quiz, which will certainly help you to revise thorough newspaper analysis on daily basis. Starting with the editorial portion, listen to the quote. The Supreme Court dismissed a public interest litigation that was filed to rename the roads, cities, and buildings named after foreign looters and restore the benevolent nature of Hinduism. The Apex Court dismissed the plea, stating that such a selective historical approach would create schism in the country. The recent approach of renaming popular cities is also not devoid of identity politics. The names of Muhammad Ghazni and Ibrahim Lodi was contended in the Apex Court in the same breath, although they are divided by 5 centuries and come from vastly different ancestors. The Apex Court was thus right to ask if renaming alone could wash away the invasions that this country has faced from history. The dismissal of the plea's timely warning against bigotry and upholds the rule of law, secularism, and constitutionalism. Coming up to the international courts and climate change, one of the phenomenal and hot topic that is prevalent in the society, that is climate change that we are facing, and what all legal measure needs to be taken. The International Court of Justice have been approached by a group of 16 nations led by the island country of Vanuatu to seek their directions on the grave issue of climate change. While the International Court of Justice on this matter shall be advisory, the same shall have the normative weight of an order and will serve to clarify international law on an important issue. Despite the presence of international legal instruments such as UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, the Kyoto Protocol, and the Paris Agreement, UN has fallen short of delivering concrete solutions to the problem of climate change. Now, what are the legal questions needs to be raised, and what are the important things that needs to be discussed? What are the international law obligations of country toward the protection of climate system from the anthropogenic emissions of greenhouse gases for the present and future generation? The question might lead the ICJ to use customary international laws to fill in the gaps of the treaties. And the next important one is, what are the legal consequences for states that have caused significant harm to the climate system? This might finally bring in a system of climate repatriation wherein the rich countries who have historically abused the emission of greenhouse gases should compensate the developing countries. While the advisory opinion is not panacea, developed and developing country grouping like the G20 should laud the initiatives taken by the small island developing states such as Vanuatu, seeking the ICJ's opinion, or Antigua or Barbuda and Tuvalu, seeking the advisory opinion of the Hamburg-based International Tribunal for the Law of Sea. Starting with the news update, UK and EU, that is United Kingdom and European Union, clinch historic Brexit deal over Northern Ireland trade. The new deal will overhaul the existing trade rules and shall relax the tensions stoked by Brexit. Elon Musk reclaims world's richest man title. This happened after Tesla's stock price shot the Twitter's owner net worth by nearly $7 billion to $187 billion. Messi wins FIFA the Best Player Award. Messi was the captain of the Argentina squad and led the team to World Cup glory in Qatar, while scoring 27 goals in 49 games for club and countries in 2021 and 2022. Barcelona Alexia Putellas was named Women's Player of the Year. Starting with the fourth news update, Union government approves renaming of Aurangabad and Osmanabad in Maharashtra. After renaming, Aurangabad city shall be known as Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar and Osmanabad city as Dharashiv. Coming up to the important days, National Science Day, which celebrated on 20th of February to commemorate in the honor of Sir C.V. Raman for his legacy who discovered Raman effect on 20th February 1928. National Science Day is celebrated in India to mark the discovery of the Raman effect by Indian physicist Sir C.V. Raman. Coming up to the next important day on the same day, that is 28th Feb, it is dedicated to raising awareness for approximately 300 million people around the world living with a rare disease. Coming up to the next news update, Karnataka to get India's first marina. It will be constructed at Bandur in the Udupi district. Coming up to the next news update, Australia's Deakin set to be first foreign varsity to set up India campus. The campus will be situated at the Gujarat International Finance Tech City in Gandhinagar. Coming up to the last news update, Zero Discrimination Day that is celebrated on 1st March. The day aims to promote equality before law and in practice throughout all of the member countries of the UN. Coming up to the legal updates, Section 24 of the Civil Procedure Code 1908, power can be invoked by common high courts for two or more states, even for interstate transfer of suits. This has been held by Honorable Supreme Court in Shah Nevaz Khan versus State of Nagaland. The Honorable Supreme Court held that the power of Section 24 under the Civil Procedure Code 1908 can be exercised if it is a common high court for two states under Article 231 of the Constitution and both the civil courts are subordinate to it. Coming up to the next legal update, Civil Procedure Code, Order 41, Rule 23A, appellate court can't rename suit for de novo trial merely because a particular evidence has not been adduced. By Honorable Supreme Court in Shirazuddin versus Zeenat and others, the bench set it aside because the order of the High Court of Kerala had not adverted their findings and specify why the finding of trial court was unjustified. That's all for the today's thorough newspaper analysis. Stay tuned, take care, keep learning.